In August of 2016, the C.R.E.E.P.Z Ghost Commandos were invited up to the Farrar Schoolhouse to help co-host a great paranormal event called Summer School, where visitors can listen to guest speakers or sit in on a class to learn about the ins and outs of the known paranormal world. In addition to being co-host, we were also asked to teach a class. We were very honored by this request and graciously accepted. So the CGC set aside the supernatural and snatched up some school supplies. It's rolling now. Good to go.
Oh, dope. Good to go, tech guy?
I think so. I hope. Pretty sure.
1 minute early. That's great.
I feel 99% confident.
99% confident.
Well, okay. Well, thank you guys for coming. We'll go ahead and get started since it's 3 o'clock on the dot according to my Fitbit. I'm trying to get my steps in today. Come on in.
Now you're just showing off.
Trying to get my steps in. 10,000 needed. American Heart Association. You got to keep that heart healthy when you're ghost hunting, right? Well, all right. You ready to go?
Yes.
Are all you ready to go?
Oh yeah.
All right. First slide. Oh, already.
My goodness.
Already.
Oh, no. Golly.
You actually have a pop quiz before we get into our presentation. We would like to test your knowledge. And one
Now I
back.
really do feel like I'm at school, Adam.
Everybody good to go? Now, I'm going to be timing. This little guy, Mr. Peepers, is going to be watching you. Good luck on the exam.
Eyes on your own paper.
Now some of these are going to be multiple answers, like
There's
number
only
4.
one right answer in the multiple choice.
Okay.
A, B, C, or D.
Actually, when did the last time a test was actually taken here?
Oh, when was the last time they?
Will? Was that what, early 2000s? Is probably the last time a test was taken in here?
The closest one was
2002.
2002.
Yeah.
If you're done first, you get something special.
You keep that pencil.
So you want twigs?
No, thanks.
We'll hang on to it.
Okay.
You can hang on to it. Come on in.
Some of these answers are hilarious, guys.
Yeah, they are.
What Peepers is that? I don't know if Peepers is working, honestly. Oh. Maybe 4 minutes?
Rotate it, maybe it'll work.
Yeah. We may have to speed him up a little bit.
Alright, I think I got this nailed.
All right.
But that doesn't mean that the certificate they say nobody can pass either.
Well, yeah, I mean, this is from
Unless
the...
you were being facetious, of course.
Of course not.
Facetious.
She gave me the glare.
This is a science show, don't throw out many words.
Sarcastic, is that better? Damn.
One more minute on the old test here, and then we'll get into our presentation.
And then we can throw peepers out a window.
Peepers is my friend.
You can follow him if you like, and when we're going to the facility.
Throw me out the window too.
She doesn't like it.
I know. I have control of the classroom.
Right.
Ah, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have control of those in the classroom.
I know. I know where the principal should be. Doing this 7 minutes on
That's
this
pretty good.
test. Yeah. Studious pupils in here. I think everybody's done. Almost.
Just about.
Almost. That's okay.
Helpers.
Huh?
I'm the last two.
Last 2. All right.
Take many tests like that, actually.
Mr. Peepers is on your side. Oh, there's Peepers. There he is. Pencils down. Pencils down. We're going to go ahead and hit the lights for our visual presentation. Flipped it. All right. Well, thank you for taking the test here. If you don't know already, that's Adam. My name's Alec. That's our brother Eric providing support. Us 3 are brothers, and then there's Gideon Coyle down at our booth. He's our 4th brother, basically. We've known Gideon since he's been a little guy, so we treat him like a brother, so be sure to say hi to Gideon. He'll love it. Well, thank you for the participation in the pop quiz. I know that some of those answers are a little weird, some of these questions are a little strange, but honestly, in our 8-year run as a paranormal investigating team, we've basically encountered all of those. So they may not be paranormal focused, they're more basically anything could happen during an investigation. And when you're on an investigation, you're responsible. So basically leaving these issues that you may have come across, like a toilet trouble, leaving those unresolved, they will have consequences. So consider some of these consequences here. The owner of the place that you're investigating, they will not be pleased. Jim and Nancy would not be pleased if you left a mess in their bathroom or wherever. They'll call Will. And Will would not be pleased. He will not be pleased. Also, consider this. You're not going to be invited back to that location because you left a mess.
Or chances are you probably. Yeah.
Yeah, and then, the word's going to spread, and the owner's going to assume that all other paranormal teams are just like you, especially if this is their first time. A lot of these owners are letting down their guard, letting paranormal teams in. All these other paranormal teams are going to be just as messy, or you mess it up for other teams. So you really want to consider the consequences. So common courtesy and professionalism go a long way when you're a ghost hunting team or a team exploring the paranormal. There's a lot of teams out here today, and it's great to see all that. So our presentation is going to cover some of these do's and don'ts and some of these overall best practices.
It's essentially a class not necessarily about ghost hunting itself or looking for ghosts, but how to get into locations, how to sort of increase your chances of investigating more and more locations. And that's what we're going to cover today.
Exactly. Yeah, we trust that you know some of the basic gear, and also we didn't want to step on the toes of the other presenters. So there's going to be some other teams presenting about the technology behind the scenes. They're the pros on that. I like to think that we've had a pretty good run, and we've built a good reputation with some of the best practices. So we want to help you guys out by explaining some of those. This is our 7th time to Farrar. Every time is extra special. We love coming out. We're from Kansas City. It takes us about 3.5 hours to get here. It's such a good time. Any way we can help Farrar, we are on board, and I encourage you all to do the same if you have not already. This is a great place, and we love it.
It certainly is.
We sure do. All right, so we'll go ahead and get started here. Summer School, the Paracon. That's where we're at, 2016. We've already kind of rushed through this. There's our names once again. If you're saying, who are those jerks who gave us a pop quiz early on? That's us. All right. The name of our presentation is Commanding the Investigation. And Adam Gideon and myself, we've always lived by this quote. The quote is, in order to understand the paranormal, you must first have a grasp on the reality that surrounds you. It's only going to help you have a better time when you're exploring ghostly stories, researching haunted locations. So, our first section. This is all a dream of ours. It's been a dream since Adam and I have been a little kid. How long have we been telling ghost stories?
Oh, I'd say since we can put words together.
That's right. Long time. We won't get into our ages. That's another story. But imagine the scenario. Imagine the scenario. Just think about the opportunities that are going to be out there. Where is this going to take you? We've been to some pretty awesome places. What's your approach going to be when you have an opportunity to form a team or to create opportunities for yourself? Think about your approach. Inspiration. We could derive a ton of information from different sources. Ab and I, we did feel that we grew up in maybe a haunted house, but it wasn't haunted. We felt that it protected us from something. It was in a bad part of town. There'd be crazy cases where there's ambulances on the street, and one time our dad was shaken awake because the neighbor that we cared for was having some medical issues.
At first he thought it was just the house shaking randomly, but it kept occurring as he tried to sleep throughout the night. It literally felt like someone was coming by and shaking the bed. So he believed that to be a spirit of a deceased neighbor saying his widowed wife, I guess,
Mhm.
was in trouble. So that's one of the inspirational stories that help you delve deeper into paranormal investigating.
That's right. That's where Adam and I grab inspiration from, because that is extra special to us. We feel that, that's a connection, and we want to learn more about why that connection exists. We're curious about it. So think about your inspiration. Then take a leap of faith. Where do you go from there? Now that you're mentally committed to going out and exploring ghosts, exploring haunted locations, how do you do that? Do you know people? Do you have to call people? Yeah, we've had to cold call some people. It's kind of a tough call to say, hey, you've got an old building. Can I come look at your ghosts? Well, it's not that easy. It's not that easy. So you're really going to have to prepare yourself to encounter some obstacles. Think smart about those obstacles. Think about all the risk that is associated with it. Think about the gear you're going to need. It's a big investment. You're really jumping off a cliff and really hoping for the best. Hopefully you land safely, but ghost hunting, as you know, has some hazards.
No nets.
And we all know. We all know. Selecting partners is very important. Adam and I, we're brothers. For that long time we will not mention. Eric back there, he helps us out. Gideon, we've known since we were a little guy. We do connect with other teams, but there's other teams that, they may have the wrong motive. There's egos that get in the way. There's so much competition internally and externally, so you really want to be careful about who you take along on this journey with you. It's super important that you factor that in. All right. I will find you, and I will explore you. I'm sorry I'm blocking these memes for you here. Go explore more. Humans are natural explorers, no matter what we try to do. I think it's all human instinct.
Comes from when we were hunter-gatherers.
Exactly.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what we're hunting. I remember talking with Dad this weekend. He is on a mission to find a bike pedal for his grandson. He will not give up. He's hit every thrift store. He's hit every sporting goods store. He's not going to give up until he finds that bike pedal. That's his motivation. He wants to feel the success of finding something. Do you want to touch more on
Kind of a little
exploration?
Indeed. Kind of like what you just said. We're natural hunters and gatherers from thousands of years of human existence. Who knows, maybe even more. But ever since then, humans have always had an interest in exploring more. From reaching outside their caves and seeing what land lies beyond over the horizon, to space exploration all the way up to modern time, and even deep sea exploration. We keep going and keep pushing further, and I think it's a natural instinct to explore in any direction. And that's why if you have an interest in the paranormal and you want to explore it, there's nothing wrong with that. Some people may look at you funny, like, oh, you go looking for ghosts. Yes you do, because it is natural if you have that interest to go explore and find more depth about it.
And admit it, feels pretty good, doesn't
It
it?
does.
I hunt ghosts for a hobby. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
You might get some weird looks at first, but then they kind of get their jealous face, like, I wish I was a ghost hunter. I want to come along. How many times have you been asked, can I come along with you?
Oh, tons.
A lot.
Tons of times.
A lot. So yeah, there's
And the
a
reaction
jealousy.
that you get is, when you tell me you're a ghost hunter, is either a positive, there is no in between, it's either a positive or a negative.
Yeah.
It certainly is, yeah.
Exactly. So you've got the drive to explore. It's built inside physically and mentally. You've got your partners if you want, or you could go it alone. You've got your inspiration. Now where do we go? What am I supposed to do now, says this poor little cat. All right. So, that first investigation, I think, is extra special. Adam and I's and Gideon's first investigation was at this barely standing schoolhouse in somebody's backyard in Rushville, Missouri. It was rough. It was a one-room schoolhouse built in, 1880 something,
1880, yeah.
barely standing. And we've been to bigger places. The Missouri State Penitentiary was super special and awesome, but this one-room schoolhouse, extra special because it was the first one. It was the first one. That's really where we didn't know what we were doing. We were gonna figure it out as we went along, but we're always learning from it.
It was kind of going off instinct. We knew we wanted to look for ghosts. We got an opportunity to explore this one-room schoolhouse, and went with it. Just snowballed from there. I mean, that passion to understand what this phenomenon is, I mean, it grows the more you delve into it, for sure.
That's right. Yep, so this is where the dream starts to take formation. This is where you start building your existence in the paranormal field. You know, it may be a team identity, but I think what's more important than that is how you start. You know, I think starting big may be a little overwhelming because it may scare you off, or it may scare somebody off. You know, they start with a 4-story building and they figure out that, hey, I'm going to be here dusk till dawn, I'm locked in. You know, I've got all this responsibility, I don't know where to go, I don't know who to contact. You know, I think we're the lucky ones that survived it. You know, there's been a lot of people that have tried it and they're just not cut out for it. So really, if you want to keep that drive going, think about how you're going to get started. And our recommendation is start small and then keep working yourself up bigger, because you're going to develop those good habits and those best practices along the way.
I love that meme.
Ghost caught on tape.
Love that meme.
That's right. Ghost caught on tape. So you're marketing your mission right now. A good place to start is everybody knows a ghost story, you know? You're always hearing about ghost stories. I think we're all probably going to hear 50 or 100 of them today, unique ones. A good place to start is to just help them out. You know, help them get answers. It doesn't have to be a full-scale investigation. Just collect data from them. Write down questions that they've asked you or you're going to ask them. Write down those answers. Write down those data points. That's going to help you in your research. So that's a good place to start. And it is small, so that helps you out. Factor in this though. Competition. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. They may tell you that, hey, they've never looked at having a ghost team in before, but that may not be the case. I remember one time we found out afterwards that, you know, there have been several ghost teams at this place, and the owner just straight up lied to us, and that did put us at a little bit of risk because, you know, I don't know, it does have its pros and cons, but I felt that it put us at risk a little bit. But competition, were you going to say something?
Well, you just add what you just said, because when a team comes in, you don't know what attachments or what you have with you.
That's the risk.
Velisca is that way when it's got kind of like an onion layered effect. You've got the horrible incident that happened there, and all those teams coming in, leaving God knows what.
Sure. Yeah.
And so yeah, no, if they weren't honest with you, that's definitely put you guys at risk, because they can you know, those teams could have left something behind.
Yeah.
Not intentionally, but you know, nonetheless.
And
Exactly.
actually, sometimes it is intentional.
Yeah, you know, we were very careful about getting information because we were nervous about approaching this investigation, and we felt that, hey, you know, we just want to go for it. We want to help out as much as possible, and we felt good based upon what we've been told. But afterwards, after we concluded our investigation, that's where the story started to seem. We started to gather more evidence, and really we had to kind of discredit the claims that that this person was talking about. We had to look into a little bit more. It really made our job tougher. But there's other teams out there. There's other teams trying to do it the same way. And I think competition is good. Adam and I, we embrace competition. We really don't consider it to be competition. It's more networking, honestly.
It is. It's all
Like,
about how you
only
look
because
at it.
each team approaches things differently.
Exactly, yeah.
So you can learn from them, they'll learn from you, take a little bit here, they take a little bit there.
Exactly, yep. I mean, we're learning from C.R.E.E.P.Z. Paranormal Endeavors is here. I mean, there's other teams. Depart,
Yep.
C.R.E.E.P.Z.
A buddy of mine down in Kentucky named George Turner, I don't know if you guys have heard of him or not, but he tries to steer clear of anybody that calls themselves experts in this
Yeah.
field.
Yeah,
Nobody's an expert.
Definitely no experts. Yep. There's no book that you can refer to that clearly defines the best way to do it. Really, I think it comes in here and here. Good point. So competition is going to be out there. Just approach it carefully and really stay open-minded about the competition that's out there, because ultimately it could be a catalyst to help you out.
And in saying that, I mean, if you're open to competition, sort of like the old school is saying, there is no competition. So if you're just open to competition and don't care, there is no competition.
Right?
That's it.
All one giant collective, finding information together for one common goal.
That's it. And that's a good segue into kind of our next little section here. This guy really beholds his true identity. You don't have to go that extreme, but it's good to have a team identity, you know? We feel proud about the name CREEPZ. It stands for something, even though, you know, they're like, hey, those creeps over there. Nah, you know, like those guys, they're the nicest guys ever. Those guys with the southern accents? No. So be proud of that team identity. But remember, a team identity is more than a name. It's more than a team logo. It's more than a t-shirt. The team identity that you create is the reputation that follows you everywhere you go. Are you doing a good job? Are you doing a bad job? Think about the consequences, because that's your team identity. And it's hard to shake. That's your resume right there. All right. Let's get into the next section here. Mentally tough, and this also goes in with being physically tough. Turn it over to Adam here.
Yes, mentally tough. Get yourself educated. You know, don't be afraid to crack open a book about psychology or criminal justice, or even delving into an electronic book, or any sort of one of those mediums. Educate yourself. I mean, yes, it's easy to go into a haunted location and get feelings. You know, you feel like a ghost may have touched you. But what could that actually be? What is the ghost made up of? What if you learned that ghost could be made up of?
Electromagnetic energy.
Right. So you can start there. You can crack open a book that says, or jump online, start researching electromagnetic activity, see what all affects it. And maybe somehow you can use that knowledge to make a greater connection the next time a ghost touches you. Or even if you have an encounter like that.
Yeah, there's more to that too. You know, that's paranormal education, but there's also professional or civilian type education. You know, in the quiz, Matt asked the question, you know, hey, you know, on this multiple choice one, which one of these courses are good?
All of the above.
All of the above. And there's more to that. I mean, you can get into criminal justice, sociology,
Medicine or nursing, because
yes.
you never know if you're going to run into an entity, for starters, that died of an illness, and you can ask key questions having that knowledge.
Exactly. Yeah, so there's all kinds of benefits to certain types of courses. Adam, he's a fine arts major, so he's taking classes on photography, video stuff. I mean, he helps us market our mission of helping others through paranormal exploration. I've got a business degree in project management, and you know, while that has nothing to do with paranormal, it really helps us create those connections, write professionally about what we're doing. Give the appearance like you're well organized. So it doesn't really matter what type of courses you do, but keep that mind mentally tough.
Exercise your brain.
Exactly.
Just like the old saying goes, because it's, you'll be surprised on how much further you can delve into paranormal situations, how much more information you can draw out from a haunting, say, through the evidence that you get. But also, sort of transitioning into the physical mental toughness, definitely you want, like before investigation, some people sleep maybe 8 hours. That's the norm, right? Some people, I know, some people sleep 5 hours.
That's the recommendation.
7 to 9 hours, yeah, is the sleep recommendation. I'm lucky if I get two. I'm lucky if I get two.
Yeah, we're busy, aren't we?
It's definitely stuff like that to consider before you go on an investigation, is get yourself physically ready to go many hours if need be. Dusk till dawn. We've done plenty of dusk till dawn investigations, and we definitely like to sleep a lot beforehand, sort of because, you know, you could be in the middle, right in the middle of investigation, activity is happening, but fatigue is setting in, and your mind isn't straight. You're not asking the right questions.
because you didn't get enough sleep last night, or something like that. Being physically ready for investigation is extremely important for investigation, because you never know, but like I just said, when evidence may arise, and you don't want to fatigue out when that happens.
Who's prepared to hang until 4 a.m. tonight?
Hey,
Yeah,
there we go.
so you came with your game plan. All right.
Julie's over there shaking her head.
That's when I get up.
It's when you get up.
4 a.m.
All right.
on a good night for me is when I'm first trying to go to sleep.
Yep. Did anybody adjust your routines to make sure you're ready for 4 a.m. today? Not really?
I don't think that
Yeah, I got an extra hour. Wasn't I normally do? I got 2 hours instead of just
I
one.
slept until 6:30.
You slept in?
Oh, slept in.
She adjusted.
All right.
A little bit.
Good.
Yeah, so just keep that in mind. Really just healthy, clean living. That's a good recommendation because it keeps your mind fresh, and we really need to think deep and hard about these unique situations. Yes, sir,
I
Eric.
just want to add to that too. For a safety standpoint as well, falling
Yes.
asleep, you're getting drowsy on investigation. If it's an energy that might not be the most friendly as well, there's vulnerability with that.
Certainly.
You let your guard down. It's like why a lot of people have a lot of those dreams, spirits getting to them when they're in REM mode.
That's
Yeah.
a great
It's the
point.
same thing. So you want to be alert, you want to be awake, on guard.
Totally a good point, yeah. I mean, safety, we always joke safety first in our guides, but it's something that we re-emphasize every time because while it may seem we're joking about it, we're very serious about it. We've had to carry somebody down the stairs of the Belvoir Winery one time. And I don't know what happened there, but she was vulnerable, and she had to get out. Once she hit the fresh air, she was fine. But she could have been. We don't know. We didn't know her. She was just in a group tour. We don't know what kind of stuff she was doing before. So it's dangerous.
There's also the point too of staying mentally alert because you're going into these old buildings, and some of these old buildings aren't structurally sound and
Yeah.
are extremely dangerous, and so you have to be mentally and physically alert so you don't end up going through a floor or have something fall on you. Or
Literally thinking on your toes.
Literally.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, you don't want to cause damage to a property based upon clumsiness.
Right.
Even no matter what state it's in, because they'll recognize it. All
Which
right.
leads to question 10.
What's that?
Which leads us to question 10 on the quiz.
Question? Yes. That's happened before. That wasn't fun, but hey, we resolved the issue. We got it done. Evidence clear. It's all good.
So you did hide all the evidence.
Well, we resolved the issue. Resolved the issue.
Semantics.
Yes. Nobody needs to know. All right. Confidence. We'll get into confidence here a little bit. Do you have anything on confidence?
No.
Nope.
Wait, maybe I do. I don't know.
Doesn't have his night vision eyes on. Well, basically, I'll talk a little bit about confidence. It gets back to what we discussed earlier. It feels kind of cool to tell people that, hey, I'm going to the Farrar Schoolhouse and I'm going to hang out until 4 a.m. looking for ghosts. Be proud about that. This is such a unique opportunity. Not everybody has the means to, or really the willpower to hang this long. You're in a special place. Remember these days. I mean, you're going to be telling your family about these days for a long time because you're having fun, right?
Even embrace the discouragement. When you're investigating, you'll get discouraged because you're not getting anything. Embrace that. Keep going. Something's going to happen eventually. The more you try, the more different questions you ask, the more different tactics you use. Embrace that encouragement, and you'll find that embraced discouragement turns into confidence.
This meme kind of haunted me in my sleep a little bit. I thought it was funny. I was like,
That is creepy beyond
yeah,
belief.
I know. It kind of stuck
It's
with
very
me.
disturbing.
I'm sorry. It was the best meme I could find for the point we're trying to make. But basically,
I like the pun.
you like the what?
The pun.
Yeah.
The wall outside.
Yes, exactly. That's why I stuck with it.
It's awesome.
I don't have the rights or the permission or the copyright for it, but I'm using it. Don't tell.
Yeah, you're not gonna
Copyright
say
infringement,
goodbye.
find the bastard.
So basically, the point here: treat opportunities like they're a job opportunity. In the quiz, we'll talk a little bit more about the quiz here in a bit. But if you have an opportunity to lead ghost tours through a building, and it's for the owners of the building to get some funds to help out with their maintenance costs. Treat that very responsibly, be very organized about it, give them confirmation that you're going to do a good job for them. Type up a proposal, they'll be impressed by that. All right, and we've already kind of talked about this with reputation. Behavior is super important.
Certainly.
It really is.
Simple rules to go by. Be
Yeah.
kind, be humble, respectful. Stick to those things. And our dad has a saying: if it's not nice, don't say it. If it's not right, don't do it. Live by those simple rules. You're going to increase your chances of getting into the location so many times over.
So true, so true. All righty.
Oh, I love T-Rex.
T-Rex, yep. What does it
Love
say?
the T-Rex memes.
It says if common sense is common, why doesn't everybody have it? You know, we're all going to run into those people that don't have the common sense. You know, it may be on your team, or it may be in a group setting, or it may be an owner that knows that that they're doing some weird stuff, and really just common sense really helps keep you safe.
The lack of common sense is becoming more and more prevalent in society, unfortunately.
Mary's excited about our Keanu meme here. What if education really works? We kind of skipped around here. We've already talked about the importance of education.
Oh, right, yeah.
Educate yourself as much as possible. Because you're reading in the dark.
I was really having trouble.
Didn't have your real glasses on.
Uh-uh.
You left in the car.
Damn, night vision goggles.
All right. Know your paranormal glossary. There's going to be times where you're going to be quizzed about what a device is or what does the device do. You want to sound like you know what you're talking about, and they're going to be able to tell if you're faking it, especially if you branded yourself as a paranormal investigator, and you can pump yourself however as much as you like, but just no matter what, know the key terms in the paranormal field.
Plus, you never know what news person is going to come by and interview you, and you want to make sure you know what you're talking about to whoever they broadcast you to. So,
Stop looking at memes and do your homework. I guess I should have followed that advice when I was creating this. I looked at a lot of memes, guys. These are the best I could do. So do your homework. That involves research. That involves just making sure you go in with a good game plan. Preparation, strategic planning, risk analysis. Time management. Yes. Our biggest enemy when ghost hunting is time. It's time.
It's everybody's worst enemy, no matter what you're doing.
Most likely, yeah. Time goes so fast. I mean,
Time
it
is
is.
humanity's. Yeah.
It is.
yeah.
Especially for a ghost hunter when the sun's coming up.
I love this guy.
Like this guy. Credibility and credentials back up your evidence. They're going to question your evidence. If you pop a video on YouTube, be prepared for nasty comments.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
But as long as, like Alex said, as long as you can back it up, raw footage, personal encounters, statements from other teammates, you don't need to worry about people, talking bad about your evidence, because you'll have those facts to back it up. And they can just keep on hating, as they say.
Exactly, yeah. Don't treat it as a fight. If you get a nasty comment on your Facebook page about, an experience that you had, or a video documenting evidence, just treat it professionally.
Thank
Throw
you
some
for the
knowledge
criticism.
back at them.
Thank you for the criticism. I'll see if I can improve upon it at some point.
Exactly, Matt.
Well, because it's funny that you guys bring this up, because here just recently I've been working with the team out of Perth, Australia, Haunted Perth.
Oh, I've
Really?
heard of them, yeah.
You've heard of her?
Yeah.
Jody Turner, she's great. She's
Sure.
great people. And, and I've already known this, but she's just been reinforcing it so much. Don't be afraid to have other people look at your evidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to, and take it to heart in what they're saying, and don't be afraid to get out there and network, because the more people that you have look at that evidence, the more credible it's going to be, or the more, or debunked, however the case may be.
Exactly.
So,
And what if you took the other route on that? What if you said, oh, you're full of what, and you don't know what you're talking about, and you publicly put that out there on Facebook or YouTube, reputation again. That's going to come back, and more than likely, the competition that's out there, the other teams, they may be on the side of the person that's critiquing your work. So treat that just like what's been talked about today. But get ready to back it up. This is also a good tip to use. The more experience you get, the more haunted locations you do, it's okay to ask the owners for a letter of recommendation. Ask for feedback from the owners. I think this helped us get into, I can't remember.
I think it was Harris Carney House in Kansas City.
Harris Carney, yeah,
We
old
did,
Civil War house.
We did one Civil War house called the John Warnell House Museum. It was an old field hospital during the Battle of Westport in Kansas City. But we did a really good job. The owner kind of kept checking in on us, and of course we went through everything that we just gone through. We're respectful and kind. At the end of the investigation, we put together a documentary, showed it to her, and we asked, she loved it and she enjoyed our company there, and she thought we did a really good job. We simply asked, could you just write us a short letter of recommendation?
She was very happy to do it, just because she enjoyed our time. She enjoyed her time with us, and we've hung on to that letter, and that helped us get into some very hard to get in places. Because she put it on the Historical Society letterhead. She signed her name, she had a contact number so it could be validated. It really helped out. So this is a good tip to have if you're building your paranormal resume.
It's like branching into a whole different network too, because of course all of us are on the paranormal network. Well, she was on the historical network, and to branch that gap was a really good way to get into other historical locations that are up for paranormal investigations.
Yeah, exactly. She was a recognizable name. All right. His middle name should be Danger.
It's close.
Yep. But you really want to protect yourself and the location. It's kind of unfortunate that of the times that we live in right now. I remember one time we had a scary experience. We were at a house built in 1844 on the historic registry. They've got their board of directors there, and then somebody knocked at the back door. Ghost hunting was all off at that point. We don't know what's happening. Was somebody trying to get into the door? Somebody trying to rob the place? Luckily, we were smart enough to lock the door. Lock the door on these places.
And have another teammate remain inside while we go and checked out and secured the perimeter to make sure nobody was doing any sort of vandalism on the property or was on the property that shouldn't be there and didn't have permission. So we definitely did it in a very safe, strategic way. But yeah, definitely that's the danger of ghost hunting for sure. Is people being invited onto the property or people on the property who weren't invited.
Exactly, yeah. So be mindful of the location that you're at. Don't leave windows and doors open that shouldn't be. You never know who's going to get in there. You may be investigating the basement of a place. Somebody could walk right in, vandalize the place, or worse, steal your gear. It may be gone in a heartbeat. It may be out because you left the door or the window open. Be very mindful of that.
We've had 3 different encounters like that. 2 were possibly paranormal related. 1 was for sure a real person. But it was just someone to come check on us.
Oh yeah, was that an Armstrong?
It was an Armstrong.
Boy, this little lady, beat on the door
We
like
didn't know
Thor.
who it was at first. So she comes up and she's just racking at the door and she's not saying anything to the door. So we let the host at the time open up the door and we were standing by.
I was behind the door ready to body check this person. Adam was right there. I think Gid had his flashlight ready to strike, but it was this one little lady who we met earlier at the diner. She was just checking on us. But
Fight or flight situation in that case.
she scared the mess out of us for sure. I mean, big boom on the church door there. So, cosmic connections. If it's meant to be, it will be, and we truly believe in that. Things happen for a reason. You got some stuff on cosmic connections?
I do. Let's see what kind of notes I got here. I wrote this while driving up here, and it is a mess.
I was driving.
Oh yeah, you were driving.
Safety first.
I was. Yes, cosmic connections. Whether you like it or not, there's cosmic connections. Whether, you look at anything from deja vu, astral projection, dreams, even religion. There's all sorts of different forms of beliefs out there that believe, is that a bird inside?
That's-
Or?
No, that's
My-
like mobile.
Oh, okay.
My birds, sorry.
Put your name on the board, let's get it.
That's what I'm looking for right there.
You looking for the stick?
Oh, yeah.
Bless.
That's what it was. You know, wherever you look, there's people believing in some sort of cosmic connection, whether it be religion, anything from dreams to religion. Everybody dreams. Everybody has had a dream. I'm sure I can't think of one person. Anybody not have dreams in this room?
One of our teammates doesn't dream.
No
Doesn't
way.
dream.
Well, if he does, he doesn't remember them.
Okay, fair.
That's common though, not remembering your dreams.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's true. But the ones you do remember, man, it sticks with you.
He hasn't
Is it
remembered a dream.
something-
He hasn't remembered a dream in like the last 8 years. Well, you guys met him, Larry.
Larry?
Oh,
Larry.
I remember Larry,
Yep.
yeah.
Is he here today?
No, he's not. He had to work.
Larry. All right. Sounds good. We'll meet up with Larry next time. So yeah, things happen for a reason. Believe in those connections. Really trust them, and just keep going.
It's the whole grain of truth thing.
Yep.
Behind all those, there's a grain of truth. So behind religion, behind behind dreams, all that stuff, there's a grain of truth that there may be some sort of cosmic connection there, that some other higher plane or lower plane of existence exists after this one.
So
Or
keep
before this
going.
one.
Keep going. Never give up. I mean, it's going to be a lot of self-sacrifice. It's going to be a lot of money because you're going to have to make donations. You're going to have to buy REM pods and EM pumps and K2s and EMFs or a voice recorder. That costs money. You know, the gear is yours. You can do whatever you want with it. You can buy whatever you want. But really, just keep going because it will be all worth it. You'll have fun. Any final words? No. I want to go over this test. I would like, Sappington, could you get the lights, please? Let's go over this test real quick. Let's see how you did. Testing, ain't nobody got time for that. All right. First part on the test. Did everybody put their name on the test? Raise your hand if you did not.
Oh, my goodness.
That's all right. That's all right. Now you know. We got so much trouble when we put our names on the test.
Minus 5 points, you
Minus 5. Minus 5. All right, first one, true or false? You will make more money than what you spend on your paranormal projects.
False.
Are we 100% across the board false?
Yeah.
Yes.
True.
True? What
I'm
kind of...
psychic.
Ah,
I charge.
that's it. Take notes.
You should charge.
I saw a booth with what was it? Basic Psychics for Dummies or something. I can't remember. It was one in the middle.
There's a booth downstairs like that, I think.
It was one of them.
Yeah.
They have some of the, it's the brand of book, the Dummies book, but there's one on psychic stuff. I thought that was interesting. So that's the loophole there. That's the loophole. All right, number 2. You've heard that a location has very high amounts of paranormal activity. What's the correct answer?
D. Arrange your own.
All right. Why is it not B?
Because you can't, no matter how credible the team, no matter how credible the claims are, you have to go in and check it out for yourself.
Exactly. Discover for yourself. You want to take number 3?
Number 3, your team is one of 3 teams considered to lead tours through the most haunted building in your state. What is your next move?
C. Plan out your approach and write a proposal.
That's right. Yeah, because you may be bidding to get this opportunity. This person may have been in contact with other teams. You're going to have to outbid the other team there. I would be very quick to do B and say, hey, guess what, y'all? We're going to start ghost tours here, but that's not a guarantee. That may actually screw up the deal for you.
And it could also, invite people that you didn't necessarily invite to this place.
Yeah, exactly. That kind of goes with question D. Stand outside the building with a sign, welcome people into the tours. Nah, it's that might get you arrested there because it's not a guarantee. It hasn't been approved by the owners. It's just an opportunity right there. All right, what courses are best to take to enhance your paranormal projects?
All the above.
All the above. Exactly. Educate yourself. It's so very important. Keep your brain fresh. And it really doesn't have to be full college. I mean, it could be, just an online course. It could be some brain activities online. some puzzles. But if you want to take that to the next level, go out and get some extra credentials, get a certification, get an associate's, get a bachelor's degree. Heck, that might evolve into a master's degree. You never know. It's only going to help you out. All right, you want to do 5?
5. A woman calls you to explain that she needs an investigation on the voices inside her house. What is your next move?
I thought B was hilarious, but C's the right answer.
Yeah.
She's crazy. Hang up that phone. No, you definitely want to be empathetic and continue to ask more questions. Remember, this may be a potential safety issue. You never know. You never know. So really pre-screen and make sure that you feel right in your heart and your head that this is going to be safe. You don't want to start that immediately, though. You want to start to screen a little bit, just for your own safety. All right, number 6. 2 months ago, another team has investigated the same location as you and published information that this location performed abortions in the 1980s. The owner disagrees and believes this to be untrue. What do you do during your investigation?
Research the claims and never mention them when you publish your information, because they were somebody else's claims, not your own.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good one. This one was probably the trickiest one on there. This actually happened to us, and it made it close to the 99% impossible to get into a place.
Certainly did.
But we never gave up, and we assured the owner that, hey, we're going to look into these claims. We've already kind of done the research on there because the board shut us down. The board said, no, the last team that was in here said that the house performed illegal abortions, and we are never letting a ghost hunter team in here again.
And there were no documents saying that.
Nothing out there. It's just a team looking to do some shock value. Put it out on YouTube and Facebook, and there was no validation at all. So our pitch to that person and to the board was, we're going to make this right. We're going to come in and do a good job for you and really try to clear your name, because the board,
And of
they're
course,
all...
depending on what kind of a business it is,
Yeah.
because there's a board, offer them the opportunity to review it before you put it out there.
Exactly. That's big, yeah. That's a good point. That's something we do before we publish most of our information as well, because we want to keep the owners happy. Number 7?
Makes you feel like they have some kind of control.
Yes.
It does. You are investigating a restaurant and someone knocks on the door. The owner is off site. What is your next move?
Safely be the person knocking and write down a description for the owner.
Anybody have anything else?
Nope, I like D though, I like that.
I think that guy would do D.
I like that.
That's my son over there, and I know him personally. He would do something.
I know he would. He got that ornery look on his face. There's our ghost in the corner.
for him.
All right, perfect. That's right, yeah. Remember, safety first once again. You never want to let them in, even though you might have some weird conversation. It's not worth your time. You don't want to yell through the door to try to scare them to go away. They may call the cops on you, and that's going to disrupt your investigation. And then, yeah, act like a ghost, try to scare them away. They may be just as curious as us and want to come and investigate with you. All right. My turn, number 8.
It's your turn.
Your team has 5 people, and the owner of the haunted location says that it's okay for you to bring in your food. What is your next move?
B.
Bring in like snacks and bottled drinks. And make
Pick
sure
up
you
after
clean up after
yourself.
yourself.
All right. That is correct and super important. You never want to leave a mess, especially for the owner to clean up. You don't want to leave the location during your investigation, because time is your enemy. You're going to be wasting your time. So really just be prepared, come in with that game plan, prepare for light snacks, clean up after yourself.
Number 9. You are investigating a private residence and the phone rings at 2 a.m. What is your next move?
Don't
B.
answer it.
You don't answer it. It's not your phone.
Exactly. Not your property.
Again, I like that.
You like that? Can you do the with Annie Potts from Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters.
That's it.
I'm from New York. That's
There you
why.
go. That's legit. That's a legit.
Ghostbusters, what do you want?
Yeah. That's legit. I like that. All right. So yeah, that's right. Answer the phone, breathe heavily, then hang up.
I like C too, especially if you're in one
You're
of those
tempted
perverted
to.
moods.
You're really tempted to. But yeah, don't answer the phone, it's correct. Your turn. Last one?
I just read that one. Sure.
Oh, it's my turn. All
I can
right.
read it if you want.
You get the bathroom question.
I do. So a member on your team needs to use the bathroom and floods the toilet. It will happen. You never know. I mean, gee, we eat Taco Bell before an investigation.
No.
We do. I mean, it really discredits everything we put in the physical and mental thing, but at least to some good times. You'll hear some demonic growls. Come
Oh,
on.
I bet.
Yeah.
Poison.
It's not a demon, no, that's just my stomach. It's okay.
Weren't you saying something earlier about clean living?
Exactly. I know. We're getting better. We're educating ourselves as well.
B would be the right answer there,
I
right?
can give you alternative healthy recipes that are easy to make that actually taste really good.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. We'll link up after the class.
B
So,
is correct, right?
well, no, not
C is.
really. Not really, because they don't want you taking a Mondo Duke in their toilet, probably.
I was contact the owner. I would be the no.
No, you
No,
want
I
to,
don't
you,
It's your mess. I mean, do you want them coming and cleaning up after you?
or
No,
get
that's
pissed
true.
off.
But wouldn't it be at least a good idea if it was something that you couldn't
If you
fix to
couldn't
contact the
fix.
owner?
Yeah, if you couldn't fix it. This evolves into an issue that you just can't resolve after, hours of trying. There's, yeah.
Talk about the
You want to
investigation
make
going
sure.
down the toilet.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you guys would go C on that one.
Yeah, we fix the issue, make sure it's fixed, run several tests to make sure.
To make
Just
sure you go to
different
investigation,
styles of
then you have a
tests.
snake available.
Yep, they've got a great plunger at Walmart. Do what you can. Do what you can, because ultimately your decision to do that. I mean, sometimes duty calls, but
And quite frankly, you're responsible.
yes,
I
sir.
was say, it kind of depends on the situation because it might have already been like that. You don't know.
I
It's
know.
like we had a investigation at a theater before, and we kept hearing. We eventually found it was water drops coming in, and we're like, "Oh, is this new development or something?" We contacted the owners, and they were just nonchalant about it. Like, "Oh, it leaks." It's like, okay. So we still moved a garbage can under it because we felt we had to do something because it was dripping on the old stage. And it's like,
Yeah.
okay.
See, you're responsible.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep, so sometimes you do have to contact the owner, but most of the time you just want to avoid that, but make sure it's fixed, clean up after yourself. So let's hope you never run into that, because it is no fun. It is no fun. No Taco Bell before investigation. It's okay, so thank you very much. Be sure to check out our booth. Adam, he's got his illustrations and his ghost stories on sale at the booth. He's an artist, and he's written some spooky stories. Some of them kind of recap some of our investigations. Some of them are from your dreams.
From my dreams, and some of them are inspired by locations I've been to.
That's right. So check that out. Pretty good
Stephen
reading.
King-ish.
Any questions for us at
Yeah, I
all?
was just getting ready to ask, did you guys ever have stories told to you when you were younger, by family?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Investigative places?
Well, that's kind of our calling. In the house where we grew up, there was a time where I saw an older man, and our mom would tell us a story. I was only 5 at the time, and she kept referring back to the time where I saw a man down the hallway, and there shouldn't have been a man. Our dad was upstairs. It could have been a grandpa that had passed away. It could have been the original owner of the house who had since passed away. But what validates this story is 20 years later, his son was in the house. He was 5 years old at the time.
Same house.
It was just our mom watching her grandson in the house, 5 years old. He then saw and said, "Man."
Oh, really?
Saying man. So wasn't there to scare us, wasn't there to put us at any harm, but we felt that was our true calling and inspiration. So that's kind of where we got the crazy idea to take this further.
I like this.
I'm going to ask you a seemingly stupid question, but
Okay.
I still think it's valid. Did your nephew that looked like you when you had the experience at the same age? Is there a strong familial resemblance between you and your nephew?
I'd say so. Sure. Yeah.
I'd say so.
The reason that I'm asking that, and that goes to an investigative question,
There is someone.
because if there was a strong family resemblance, if you looked very much alike, if you looked a lot like you at the same age,
Right.
that could be a reason behind seeing the same spirit.
That's very
The spirit
true.
could have been drawn to the lineage and the similarity.
I've noticed that we do have a lot in
Yeah,
common.
you guys do.
I mean, I'm the best athlete out of all three of us. And so is the nephew, so.
Oh, so you can run for your life scared shitless too?
Yes!
Run with the best of them.
So any other questions for us? Did you get you got the quiz, right?
Mhm.
Okay, did you guys do all right?
Yes.
I think you guys all aced the quiz.
I only missed one.
You know, there were no wrong answers, except for sign the cross and run away. That's it. Don't do
Don't
that.
you have to believe in that first?
Yes. That's another class.
Sage it, run away.
Another discussion for another day.
Speaking of other classes, Moth is coming up next. Who's ready for Moth?
Now, they're the ones doing the equipment, right?
Yes.
That's
They're,
interesting.
Moth is for Ministers of the Haunted, so they're gonna do some equipment review. And there's that bird again. Josh was in here earlier.
I
I
say
don't
we
know if
need
he's
some
doing
bird
it.
shot.
So be sure to check out everybody's booths and meet new investigative teams. There's a bunch here that don't have a
Tarot
booth
and
set up.
tarot readers and psychics.
Absolutely.
Where'd that come from? Yes, I heard it. That's a calling.
Yeah.
Check out the booth. All right, thanks guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.